If you are considering about making the move to Enumclaw, Washington, it is super important to consider the cost of living wherever you are choosing to live. Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Carlie Hendrickson, and I am a real estate agent in Enumclaw, Washington, my hometown. I help people buy and sell real estate in this town and in the surrounding areas. Also, please note that the cost of living is dependent on multiple factors, but today we will touch on a few real-life examples on what it costs to live in Enumclaw, Washington. So let's get right into it. Okay, so to start off with, let's talk about what it costs to own a home in Enumclaw. The median home sales price in Enumclaw as of May 2023 is $640,000, and the average sales price is $680,000. Now, what you can get for that price is dependent on multiple factors such as condition of house, size, location, and so on. But in general, for $640,000 in Enumclaw, you can get a 2,100 square foot house that is 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1 to 2 car garage, and on average on a 10,000 square foot lot, or about 0.2 or a fifth of an acre. The next important point to consider is property taxes. As a general rule of thumb, it is best to assume a 1% property tax rate, and in Washington, property taxes are based on the assessed value and not the market value or the sales price of a house. So let's go ahead and do the math on this. For a sales price of $640,000, let's assume that the assessed value is $550,000 for taxes. At that 1% property tax rate, we're looking at an annual property tax cost of $5,500 a year. Let's go ahead and talk about the cost of utilities now. So for the sake of this example, I have a family member who lives in Enumclaw who has graciously given me some of their utility bills so we can review them. It's even better because their house that they own actually falls within the criteria that we are using for this example, being a $640,000 home at fair market value, being within the 2,100 square foot range, and so on. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I have a City of Enumclaw utility bill. The City of Enumclaw covers water, sewer, garbage, and natural gas. So it makes it very convenient for the setup of utilities and bill payment because most of them are covered by the City of Enumclaw. It is also important to note that utility costs can vary depending on whether you are on a septic system or on a well system, but for the sake of this video, we will be calculating utility costs based on being connected to city water and sewer. So for the City of Enumclaw, let's go ahead and take a look at a bill for December, which is one of our colder months. So for natural gas, this home is on natural gas. That charge will be higher because it is colder. You're going to be using your gas furnace a little bit more during those colder months. So let's go ahead and I'm just gonna read down the list here. For December, the storm water charge was $7.50. Our gas charge was $11.35. Our gas volume charge was $177.81. And again, that's on the higher end due to the fact that this is a colder season. So we are using that gas furnace more. The water-based charge is $15.07. The water volume charge was $4.26. It is low this month because the stereotype is true. We get a lot of rain in Seattle, in the Seattle area, so we don't have to use a huge water volume to water our lawns, and especially in this area, it's not summery grass growing season, so we're seeing lower water volume charges during those colder months. Sewer charge was $27.55. Sewer volume charge was $90.20. Garbage, $31.96, and then yard waste, $13.74. This total utility bill for December in 2022 was $379.44. So let's go ahead and compare that to a warmer month. This is in May of 2023, so this was just last month, and we've been having actually a pretty warm spring this year. So that gas furnace charge is definitely going to be on the decrease because we're not using as much power to heat the house. So this total utility bill is $308.89. The comparison for the gas volume, this month the gas volume charge was $99. In comparison to December, it was $177. So let's go ahead and move to our electric bill. Electric in this area is provided by a utility company called Puget Sound Energy, which actually services most of the state. So for March of 2023, the electrical bill was $69.68. This probably stays right about the same all year. The only time frame that you're going to see a difference in this is if you have electrical portable AC units, which in this case, this family member does. Their house does not have AC, so they use the portable units to cool their house in the summer months, which goes off of electricity. So they will probably see an increase in their electric bill within the summer months and probably a decrease in the colder months because they're not using as much electricity to power their house, or at least keep the house cool. So that's what we're kind of seeing as trends for utility bills. Let's go ahead and now move on and talk about some other costs associated with living in Enumclaw. Enumclaw is located in King County, which is the 6th most expensive county to live in the United States. The good news here is that Enumclaw is located in a more affordable pocket within King County. We are the last town on the southern part of King County before crossing over into Pierce County, which is a more affordable area. So due to our proximity to more affordable areas and being farther away from larger metropolitan areas such as Seattle and Bellevue, we are again in a more affordable pocket in King County. Little fun fact to add to that though, Enumclaw for years has been researching on how to leave King County and form a new county with neighboring towns such as Buckley and Greenwater, which are actually located in Pierce County, to form again a new county that reflects our ideologies and political beliefs. Enumclaw prides itself in being an outlier towards King County voting trends and political trends, so only time will tell if this ever becomes a reality. So let's talk about now other various costs. Currently, Washington is one of the 9 states that does not have a state income tax. However, instead of relying on an income tax, we do have a pretty steep sales tax. We are currently the 5th highest in the nation in regards to our sales tax rates. We also rely heavily on property taxes and a business and occupation tax, also known as B&O tax, which levies companies based on revenue. So what is our sales tax? It depends on the area that you live in. Currently in Enumclaw for our zip code 98022, our sales tax rate is about 8.8%. The further north you go towards Seattle, the more expensive that gets. I believe Seattle is around 10% for a sales tax rate. So now let's talk about gas. It's another important expense to consider, and prices, as we know, are definitely on the rise. Currently, we are paying about $4.65 for a gallon of gas here in Enumclaw. So in general, if you are moving to Enumclaw, here's a breakdown of costs to plan for. I'm going to insert a little slide right here so we can see and talk about what that looks like. So for the Enumclaw area, for about a 2,100 square foot house, we can expect our electric on average to be around $70 a month, maybe a bit higher in the summer months when we're using that AC. Our natural gas usage, I would put on average about $100 a month, fluctuating between the colder and the warmer months depending on usage. Water and sewer, I would say on average about $137 a month, garbage about $30, gas $4.65 a gallon, income tax at 0%, but our sales tax at 8.8%, and property taxes being $5,500 a month. Now, if we did have an HOA, then that is something that we would need to consider as well. If we did own a home within an HOA neighborhood, I would say on average, an HOA in our area is about $200 a year. So we can factor that in as well if we are moving into an HOA. So all in all, there's definitely no hiding that Enumclaw is definitely pretty expensive, especially compared to other more affordable states and even other areas in Washington. However, if you're coming from areas such as California or even more expensive areas in Washington, such as Seattle and Bellevue, you will absolutely see a difference in cost of living here and see that break compared to those more expensive areas. Enumclaw, though, I will also argue, has a higher quality of life and people here tend to be happier and healthier. Enumclaw has also been rated the 2nd safest city in the entire state of Washington. So with a slightly higher cost of living, you will see a return in that in your quality of life.